Hey guys, before we get too far into this review, I just want to let you know that I am not a paid sponsor for Bestarc. Now, what you're going to see in this review is honest results of the machine and what my hillbilly goofy ass knows about the machine, what capabilities it has. Now, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not going to sway you either way. If this thing turns out to be a complete piece of junk, you're going to hear that in the video. So, anyway, sit back, enjoy the video, and I appreciate you. Hey guys, welcome back to Crosshair Garage. So, today we are looking at the Bestarc, the BTC 500 DP. Now, I have the BTC 500. You guys have seen me do reviews on it. Maybe if you haven't, they're out there. I did a initial review, a 6-month review. I absolutely love that machine. Now, with that being said, when they reached out to me and they asked me if I wanted to check this one out, I was like, hell yeah, I do, because I want the pilot arc function. I want to try that out. I want to see if it's more enjoyable to work with, what the deal is. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so let's slice this thing open because we haven't done that yet. And he shoots, and I miss. Okay, so y'all can see over here on this side, I've got the same thing here. Let's go over it. It says latest IGBT inverter technology. Now, what that is that's an insulated gate bipolar transistor. You're going to see that a lot nowadays. And if you don't know what it is, it's for, imagine a dimmer switch. Okay, it's for voltage regulation. It's to allow it to run needing less power to operate, so to speak, and it allows it for higher performance at lower amperages. So it's like the old MOSFET transistors that you would have. However, with the insulated gate, it doesn't allow any backfeeding of electric, which is backfeeding of electric is uncontrollable. It only allows for forward feeding, which can be controlled and maintained so that you don't have sputtering, spickering, stuff like that. And it's the way of the future. This is where everything's headed. They're getting rid of the BGTs, the MOSFETs, stuff like that, and everybody's running to this IGBT for a reason, because it's a good inverter. Let's see what else we have here. Safe torch connection, high quality cut and torch with quality cable. Well, we're going to decide all that. So we are supposed to get a plasma cutter, obviously, a cutting torch, an earth clamp, our ground cable, 2 tips, 2 electrodes, and an air hose, which I don't even know if we need some of this stuff. We'll find out. Let's break it open. Let's quit wasting time talking and let's get more into doing, is what I'm saying. Now, Bestarc, I started reading a little bit about Bestarc because when they reached out to me, I was like, I was very happy with the one that I have right now. It hasn't given me any trouble. I've had it for about 1.5 years now, no trouble. Well, I didn't realize this, but Bestarc's been around since 2010, so they're not new to the scene. They're not Lincoln, they're not that old. But as far as affordable plasma cutters for the home hobbyists, such as myself, they've been around for quite some time. Because I'm sure you all know that back in the day, only shops, big shops had plasma cutters. You couldn't afford them. It wasn't worth it to have one. And let's see. Quality control pass. All right, well, so this thing is about, I'm going to say 20 pounds. It's nice and light. This does run on 220 or 110. I believe my other one came with the adapter to hook up to 110. Let's see if this one does. So we'll set this over here. So we got an air hose, which I'm just going to go ahead and throw over there. We don't need. We got our ground clamp. And we do. We have an adapter to run 110. We're going to test out 110 and 220 capabilities today. So we've got some nozzles and some clamps. Let's drop them out in here. And here we've got our cutting torch. Now, this is one thing that I really do like. Oh, wait. We've got our little, this little wrench is for, you know, changing your nozzles and stuff if you want to keep it with it. I usually just grab a speed wrench off the rack over there. But my BTC 500, it has an AG60 torch. This has the AG60P torch. Now, this is a very common torch that you're going to find. So consumables are very easy to get a hold of. You can go to Amazon. Your consumables are going to be there. And you know, and you buy this off of Amazon. I think if you go to their website and you go to buy it, I think it links you over to the Amazon website. And this thing is already set up. So we've got our guide, we've got our gas nozzle, and we've got our electrode. And I think we got. Let's double check. Let's take this all apart. So this spins off. Oh, Ermagerd. Well, what do I do with my little wrench? There it is. So I can tell that they tested this because it's been used. It's got a little burn mark on it. It's not just a sticker they throw on there. That's nice. Let's get out our Chanel locks. These are not Gucci. These are Chanel. There we go. Take that off. And there we've got our electrode down in there. Yeah, she comes set up. At least mine did. I mean, I guess that's part of the quality control feature, you know, them testing it. I'm really excited about having these guides. All right, let's get everything out of the way. We do have the user manual there, but yeah, we'll just pretend we didn't see the user manual until we need it. So this is fairly easy to figure out. Okay, so you got your ground cable, which it shows you right here. It goes in there somehow. Okay, it's kind of keyed. Give it a good twirl. Down here is where your torch goes in. And they give you, I mean, this is a nice long torch. My other one has a nice long torch as well. I want to say it's about 6 feet long. Now, alright, let's line up them holes. Now with this one you're going to slide. This is for your pilot arc function on it, and you're going to slide that on, screw that back on. Up here you have your ground that hooks up. Next you have your pilot arc. Now here you have your torch trigger, and down here is just for your torch. Alright, those are your 4 connections on this. Let's go over some features here real quick on this. Some things that I liked on my old one that you still have. So you still have a water separator here in the back. It's nice and protected. You just got a simple on-off switch. You got yourself a nice cooling fan. So it's pretty basic. Let's hook up. We're going to run 110 at first. Now, when we switch this on at 110, it should, right here, okay, this one's a little different than mine, but it'll automatically detect whether we have 110 or 220 volts. Took it a second. Alright, we got 120 volts now. So your minimum amperage on 110 is going to be 15 with a max at 35. Now when you switch over to 220, you're going to have 15 as a minimum and 50 as a max. So we're going to leave our set at, we're just going to drop it down to about 30. I'm running a 20 amp breaker, and I'm hoping we don't blow that breaker as soon as we go to try anything. Alright guys, so now that we got electric hooked up to this, let's go ahead and we're just going to hook up our air to the back of it here. Let's turn her back on. Now to set your air control on this, and it kind of tells you here, your minimum, running 120 volts, you want to be running 20 to 40 psi. Running 220 volts, you want to be running 30 to 60 psi. So, pull this out. Let your air go. And we are running if I wasn't blind, I could tell you that we are running, actually we're running about 50 on the air. So let's bring it down to what they recommend. We're going to lock it in right at 40. So what can we do with 110 volts? I really don't know, guys. Let's find out. So another great feature of this, which I can't believe I haven't mentioned, is so we have you can switch just to get some airflow out of it. Now we also have, that's if you're setting up, right? So we're setting that up. We want it right at 40. We got it dialed in. Drop that off, lock that in. So we also have 2-touch and 4-touch on this. And so with the 2-touch, when you let off the trigger, she's going to shut off. Now if we drop it down to 4-touch, say you're doing a long cut, well, she's supposed to stay on. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it needs to be sensing the metal. I don't know. We'll find out. So we're going to start out with just some basic 16 gauge mild steel here. We're just going to make ourselves a cut here. We're just using a bunch of scrap that I have laying around. So I'm going to kind of set this up for a guide. Make sure you get you some shades for this. So we're running 110 volts. We're running 30 amps. And we are cutting 16 gauge. So let's see what we get. Now, I did run a little fast in a couple areas there. As you can see, that's a pretty good cut. Let me try that again. Now, somebody with more skill than me, they'd probably be a lot better at this. So again, we're on our 4-touch. So we just hit it and we let off the trigger. And it's just going to continue to cut as we drag across this. Going a little bit slower this time. I definitely see it's cutting a lot better. And there we blew our breaker though. That's going to kind of be your problem with running 110 volts right there, is you're going to blow that breaker. Now I guess you could upsize the breaker, but you know, as you can see, well, I mean that did cut really nice. So that would be easy enough to clean up. So let's move on and let's try something a little thicker with the 110 volts. Just for shits and giggles, let's see what it'll do. So here I got a piece of 1/4 inch mild steel. I don't have high hopes on this one, guys. I'm telling you right off the bat, I don't have high hopes on it doing anything with this 1/4 inch. But you never know. Let's find out. So we're at 110. I'm going to pump that all the way up to 35. And we're running at the 40 psi. Let's see if we make a dent at all. I'm going to drop this down to the 2-touch. So, I was wrong, guys. That went right through that 1/4 inch. As you can see, we went through the 1/4 inch. I don't think we could go much more through I don't think we could do much more than 1/4 inch is what I'm saying. But that's pretty impressive. That would have been a blade right there, a cutoff wheel. That would have been one. All right, well, since she proved me wrong on 1/4 inch, let's run her up on some 3/8 inch. What do you say? You think it's got a shot in heck about this? And I am actually going to increase my air pressure. I'm going to bump it up to 50. Because, hey, those are just suggestions they're giving you. Let's see what we can do. Well, we did nothing. Let's bring our air pressure back down. So let's bring our air pressure back down to their recommended settings here. So 3/8 is just a no-go, guys. It's not going to happen on 110 volts. But as you've seen, 1/4 inch was pretty, like, that's about how far we got into it. And the problem is it's not pushing all the way through, so it's pushing this molten metal back up into our faces. We don't want that. So we know that 1/4 inch seemed to be no problem. Alright guys, so let's unplug this thing. Let's get up to, let's go ahead and run 220 through it. We should automatically detect 220. And we did. So on 220, we can run up to 50 amps. Now I've only got a 40 amp breaker over there, but I don't see it being a problem. Now we're going to go back to the 16 gauge because I want to see, we got a pretty clean cut on the 16 gauge with 110. I want to see if we can get a cleaner cut out of it running 220 amps or 220 volts. I know I keep saying amps versus volts. You guys know what I'm talking about. Alright, so we are running 50 amps. Oh, we got to set our air pressure up. So our air pressure is about 65. Got a little post flow there. So I don't even know why I didn't think about this, guys, but over here you got your 2-touch, your 4-touch, and then you're going to have your post flow time. Right now it's set at 3 seconds. I want to move that up. I want to move it up to about 8 seconds. Now that's a nice cut. And it didn't even heat it up that much. I mean, I just cut that. Y'all just saw me. But that would be real easy. Take a die grinder or a roll lock or something, run across there. So 16 gauge, not a problem. Let's break out another piece of 1/4 inch. All I got is these smaller pieces because I don't want to, you know, go cutting everything I have. Then I have a bunch of pieces I can't use laying around, you know. So we're going to keep our settings the same. We're going to shoot up and do some 1/4 inch here. So that post flow time that I moved up to 8 seconds, what that does is it gives time to cool that tip down, helps save on your consumables. So here we cut through the 1/4 inch. I did mess up. I didn't hit the very tip of that when I was cutting it the first time. So let's try it again, just so I can show you that it was in fact my fault, not the machine's. Easy as pie. And there's what we're left with. Not a whole lot of slag on that. The slag chipped off really easily. We have a nice clean cut. I mean, I'm happy with that. So, what about the 3/8? Are we going to be able to do anything with the 3/8? Now that was a big fail running 110, which makes sense. I mean, it is 3/8. I mean, that's pretty thick. This is about, for a guy like me in his garage, I do use 3/8 on occasion. This is about as thick as I ever go. This is about as thick as I can weld even. And you know what? I'm going to flip her around. I'm going to go ahead and cut off down here where we had our fails with the 110 volts. That way I'm not wasting too much good stock. Because metal's expensive nowadays, guys. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Now I do believe that a lot of that was me moving too fast. We'll give it another try here. See about knocking this slag off though. That slag just chips right off. And we got ourselves a nice clean cut. Nice clean cut on 3/8. So let's see if I can't slow my hand down here a little bit. Let's give this one more try, because I really feel like this is just me. I don't think this is a machine. I think the machine has it in it. So guys, 3/8, we cut through it. It's a very nice cut. It wasn't a beautiful, you know, technique on my part, but as you can see, we have a very nice cut on that 3/8. Now, I'm going to say that this is probably the extent of this machine is 3/8, but at the same time, somebody out there with more, you know, experience than me may be able to blow through that no problem. And you know, and I know what you're saying, Jeff. What if I got some stainless steel? Will it cut through stainless steel? Let's find out. So right here we got some 11 gauge stainless steel. Shouldn't be any problem for it. But, you know, the question on this is, how's it going to leave the metal? In what sort of shape are we leaving the metal? Now it cut through that stainless. There's barely any slag. And that is 11 gauge stainless steel. I don't even know if you guys got to see me cut that. Let's cut that again, because I had the camera pointed the wrong way. So as you can see, cutting through the stainless steel, we hardly have any slag at all. There's a little nubbins there, but 11 gauge stainless steel, like butter. But Jeff, what if I want to cut through some aluminum? Well, we got some 14 gauge aluminum. I'm getting a little bound up here, guys. So I got a little bound up, then of course my clamp got in the way. Plan stuff out better than I do, guys. That's all I can say on that one. I cut through that real nice. We don't even have any discoloration of the metal. Hardly any slag. I mean, you can't even really chip it off. You would just kind of have to come through here and brush that down with a roll lock or something. But Did a fantastic job. Very impressed. So guys, this is the 3rd generation Bestarc, the BTC 500 DP. Now, if you want the pilot arc function, make sure you order the DP. All I can tell you, my thoughts on it, I think it's a great plasma cutter. I really loved my other one. I still have it. If you're in the market, if you're a home hobbyist and you'd like to have a plasma cutter, and obviously we see that 3/8 is probably the limitations on it. You know, we did cut through 3/8. We got quite a bit of slag. But again, it chips off that easy. Now, this was our tries with 110. It didn't work with 110. I can tell you that. Ow, damn, it's hot. But as you can see, that's a nice clean cut through some 3/8 mild steel. So anyway, I mean, I don't know. What are you using it for is going to be my question. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, you need to be able to do this, and you need this, and you need that. But here's the thing. Will this work for you? You've seen the capabilities of it. And the next question is, well, is this machine right for you? And at the price point that they have, I mean, in my opinion, it can't be beat. This one here comes in at a great price point. I want to say right now, which is November 18th, 2023, the price on it is $239. I was looking at it last night. They got a $40 off coupon if you buy it right now. I think it's some kind of Black Friday deal or something. And so, you know, you're in it for about, you know, just under $200. And I think it's a fantastic deal at that price. Now, I will do a 6-month update on it. If you're catching this video and it's 6 months old or something like that, look for a link for my 6-month update on it. But as of now, I'm thrilled to death to have this in my shop. I'm going to be using it quite a bit. And I'm just, over the next 6 months, I'm just going to beat the ever-loving horse crap out of this thing and push it and push it and push it. And, you know, all I can tell you about this is I've had good luck with the Bestarc. Now, I realize that it's I believe they're out of India. I'm not positive on that. Don't hold me to that. But I believe the company is out of India. Could be wrong. What isn't nowadays? You know, you're buying stuff, everything's made in China. My Lincoln, I bought a Lincoln welder, and I bought Lincolns because that's what I know. I know Lincolns, and I love Lincolns. But the internals of that, I don't think much of it is made here in the United States. I think it's probably assembled in the United States at this point. Growing up, we always had Lincoln welders. So I like Lincoln welders. It's just what I know. Now, what I know as far as plasma cutters is Bestarc. That's where I started with my first plasma cutter. This is my second plasma cutter. I plan on using them both. You know, in my humble opinion, I think that this is a great plasma cutter. And I'm not saying that because they sent it to me for free. I get, you know me, I've gotten tools sent to me for free before, and I've told you that they were junk, you know, not to buy them. I've had stuff sent to me, and I told the customer I wasn't even going to review it because it was garbage. This, when Bestarc reached out to me and they wanted to know if I wanted to review this, I said yes. Because A, I wanted this machine anyway to begin with, but I'd already been using the Bestarc plasma cutter for 1.5 years with zero trouble out of it. So look guys, ultimately the decision's yours, and I don't want to sway you one way or another. However, I will answer any questions you have. When I bought my first Bestarc, there was a lot of complaints about customer service. I didn't experience those complaints myself because I had a little trouble out of mine, a little confusion with mine in the beginning. They answered me right away via Amazon. Now they have an actual website that you can go to and you can shop their different products, and I think it'll link you to Amazon to purchase the product. I think they sell through Amazon. You can contact them, talk to them, talk to representatives about the about your plasma cutter, and if you're having issues with it, that sort of thing. And everything that I read, which I did some, obviously I did my research on this before I did the review, and everything that I read, people are very happy with the customer service that they're getting from Bestarc. And I think that they're a company that is here to stay. I think they're a company that is shooting for the long term, and that's something that needs to be looked at. That's something that you should look for when purchasing equipment. I know you see a lot of the reviews of people doing I bought the $23 stick welder on Temu, how does it do? And and that's all fine and dandy, it's fun, but we're talking about your hard-earned money here, folks. My opinion on this: fantastic. So far, absolutely love it. I will be running it at 220 volts. I don't often see it. I don't often see me running it at 110. If you are running 110, we saw you can cut 1/4-inch steel with it. Not a problem. I mean, it did just fine on 1/4-inch steel. Now, you will be popping breakers unless you upgrade that breaker to probably a 40 amp breaker. I hope you guys have found this video somewhat informative. This is real life kind of use for it. I'm not putting it to impossible task and hoping to tear down the equipment. I'm not tearing it down. I'm putting it to what I believe, as a guy who works out of his garage doing some light fabrication and stuff like that. I put it to what I believe is a reasonable test, what I would reasonably want to see out of a machine, and it held up just fine. So with that being said, I appreciate all you guys watching. Please, if you have any questions, I always answer all my comments. Drop me a comment. My socials will be up here. Please follow me. I also have a Facebook page. I get on there occasionally, let you know when new videos are coming out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification if you want. Do all that stuff. That stuff helps me. And again, there will be a 6-month review coming. So in 6 months, we'll see how she's doing. My guess is she's going to be doing just as good as she is now. But I don't know. We'll find out, right? I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the people that come back time and time again. It means a lot to me. And, just to watch some hillbilly in his garage doing stuff. And anywho's, y'all take care. Love you. Bye.